I did an interview with Cats and on my equity curve here with the max account, and so that'll come out here soon. But this is my equity curve trading this 25,000 max and trading the hangover setup. Okay, so we're gonna dive into this a little bit. Uh, make this full screen, and then I'm gonna share with you this setup that I'm looking for every single day. So I'm not a home run trader by any means. This I made 1,500 over the course of like probably 2.5, 3 weeks, and this was just these are trades that I'm not looking to make $500 on this trade. I'm looking to I'm a more like based on series of trades kind of trader. I like my edge to play out through repetition. I don't like to have that singular focus and marrying one ticker. That's what I did in the past. I blew up enough accounts doing that. So at this point in my trading journey, I'm focused on my edge and how it plays out over time. So think about, interrupt me at any time, Josh, if you have something, because I'm gonna.
No, I shut up. I shut up and you talk. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it. This is all you. This is you. This is interview time where you talk and I shut up.
So think about the house, traders. Think about the house. When you're at the when you're at the blackjack table, I like to play blackjack. The house is not worried about individual hands, right? They're not worried about that. They're worried about how their edge plays out over a million hands, and that's how I try to think in terms of probabilities. We want to be probabilistic traders. We do not. You want to avoid. I see this as the number one trading problem for many traders. In fact, last Friday night, I told a trader specifically that I see his number one problem being that he focuses too much on singular setups, and he blew up the next day doing just that. And so I want to stress that for me, for my journey, I don't focus singular setups. I focus over time, the edge playing out via repetition. So these are hangover setups that I traded with this. It was over 224 trades. I took profit 131. Lost 93, 58% win rate, and that is letting the winners, maximizing those over time, and the losers, cutting those quickly. Ultimately, it's been working out for me. So let's dive into the setup. Hangovers. I got a lot of these setups, guys. I've been screenshotting them for a long time. I got some in here from 2020, 2025, probably some from even earlier than that. That's just when I started taking note of them. So go ahead and highlight these and start pulling them up. All right, hangovers. Again, I'm looking at plays that were hot days prior, and I want to fade them the next day. So yesterday, for example, was SCWO. I just screenshotted that one yesterday. Look at this ticker. We went up. If you're taking notes, write a few of these things down, because there's a few variables I'm looking for on this. SCWO, we kind of squeezed up into after hours. And then what I'm looking for is kind of the ticker to just stay below its previous high. On this one, we were below the previous high. We did pop up over the dollar the next day, followed by profit taking and just massive reject, upper shadow. But there's a few variables here. Again, that's the dollar resistance as well on this one that held up. But there's a couple things I really look for. This is more ENTA, more bread and butter for me. ENTA, a lot of volume. Look at the volume down here the prior day. Tons of volume. It just has a massive spike that day. Rather than me trying to predict, what is this thing going to do today, I like to react the following day. I like to take confirmation over anticipation. So rather than trying to anticipate the top of something, we can just let the setup develop. And then the next day, attack it when there's no bulls present. It's lost momentum. It's lost its eyes. On this ticker. So the mob, as Josh says, the mob moves on to something else. So ENTA, we're going to flip through a ton of these, but I'm just going to speak on this one here right now. We got all the volume. Here's something I look at. I want to see there be low volume. I don't want to see a lot of action after hours pre-market. Now, why is that? You guys, you got to think about the psychology of this. There were tons of buyers the previous day. If the volume dies on this thing and it doesn't have the continuation on the momentum, then what happens? I mean, it's just going to profit take and bleed, and that's what it did this day. I'm going to show you so many examples of these. You guys are you're going to be amazed. I mean, this works. This is my A+. It works so often. I'm sharing the secrets with you. Now, again, never trade with certainty. I never do. I still apply risk here. What would the risk have been? Would have been the previous high day. It gives you defined areas of risk. That's why I like it. It's tight. The risk is very tight, and the reward is great because these things oftentimes bleed. Again, no momentum. We opened up with low volume. Low volume. We had a ton of volume the day prior. Low volume after hours pre-market and at the open. We're sitting right below. It's like that low-hanging fruit sitting right below previous close, previous high day. Take the short, risk is tight, and fade all day. I'm very convicted with these setups, so I allow them to work for me. So let's flip through a bunch of them. That was ENTA. Now look at AREB. Very similar story, right? Very similar story. Balled up, tons of volume the prior day. We opened up, very light volume, stayed heavy against the previous high day and previous close and fade. APLD, similar story. The screenshot of this, it was down nearly a point and a half. A lot of volume the day prior, low volume after hours pre-market, opened up kind of below the previous close, previous high day, snaps, bleeds. FFAI, same thing, same thing. Magic 20. Magic 20, that thing hit, chopped around a little bit at the open, but stayed heavy against the previous high a day and faded from there. I mean, guys, it's like it's magic. It's the crystal ball. INTC. I'm just gonna. I got probably 50 of these charts. I don't screenshot all of them, but there's so many of these. INTC, same setup. Go ahead and ask me, guys, any questions you have as well. I'll be happy to address them. Let's go through some more. These are ones I screenshotted years ago. ABCL, tons of volume, stayed heavy at the open, started profit taking. Now, it profit takes because what? If you're a long in one of these tickers, you're wanting to wake up with this thing gapping up or getting some continuation on the momentum. You don't get it. So imagine you're long in this. I like to put myself in their shoes, right? Imagine you're long in one of these and you're opening super weak on it. I mean, look at this thing fading 4 points. DLTR, good old Dollar Tree.
Love it, baby.
I mean, we could. Let me just take a moment of silence for all the longs that.
You don't have DG in there too. You don't have Dollar General.
Goose. Are you seeing this, Josh?
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. Yeah, what's funny is I forgot about this, but CR Trader did a presentation like this at the AKNR that I had because he's gotten so good, and I wanted traders to hear from him. And so he actually, I forgot about this, gave a presentation on this same similar setup that you're trading, looking for day in, day out. So, and to me, this is really needs to hit basis for a lot of traders that can't trade. And I say can't, you can, but you have a very hard time trading.
Flyers.
Right. Yeah. Yep. This is it. This is where you go to. This is it. This is easy peasy.
It's what helps me out because they're up a huge percentage. I know we did the episode on that yesterday. We're like, what are we looking for in pre-market? I'm looking for tickers that are up a huge percentage as well, based on this. So above average volume creates above average range. That's where the monies can be made on these plays. And just flipping through these guys, they go up many points, and it provides just great opportunity for these things to snap. And I mean, this thing, just look at all the chop on this UCL at 3, and the next day doesn't get any volume and just immediately snaps and profit takes like 60 cents on a $3 ticker. Yeah, this is, again, the thing that what I'm looking for, criteria here. I want there to be low volume after hours pre-market. I want it to be sitting below previous close, previous high a day. And oftentimes you can get involved with them in pre-market. And so because they just snap, and then you can maybe size into it.
Right.
But I love it because it's so tight on the risk. I mean, it gives you that maximum risk reward on these plays, and it's just so tight. Like that's what I like. I want to know my risk and have it predefined before I ever enter the trade. And so this is honestly like the training wheels for me. I have clear risk. I got really good upside potential on the profit side, and
right.
Just let her rip, tater chip. That's it.
Let it rip. Okay, so the one key question I would have that I'm sure traders could be thinking: where do you enter at? What's your entry price? Like, what are you looking to enter in on any of these plays? Is it just right at the open, or do you wait for a certain confirmation? What are we looking for?
Yeah, it's going to be right near the open, and even in pre-market, sometimes take a starter because you see how often they snap. They just snap and profit take right out of the gates.
Right.
When you look at this one too, SGMO snapped 16, just faded all day. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
SGMO.
it's in they're not exciting, right? They're not this is not like a trade that people are going to be like looking at their gap up scanners for in the morning. These are plays that again I'm keeping on watch from. It could be many days prior, or just a play that just ran up like this one did into after hours. So when I see them, I'm not really experiencing any FOMO because I know a setup's going to develop and I can just have a clear like I can have a clear mind, clarity of mind to enter this when there's a lack of Pete traders on it, when it's not so overcrowded, and have a clear risk level on it.
Love it, dude. It's absolutely gorgeous for sure. And you just see how often it's worked and how long it's worked. It's not like something that you just saw this year. This is something that's been working, for screenshots and slides that you've had for years on end now. So that's what I love about, finding a setup that you could trade day in, day out, that you could look for in pretty much most market conditions, because most times, whether it's a slow time period or it's hotter, you're going to have plays that spike. Now, maybe the spikes are smaller because it's been slower out. So you're only getting 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% movers. But again, in the end, that's what you can work with. So all you're doing though is the next day, like my point being, your trip back down won't be as far. That's fine, but you're still getting an easy setup you can look for. So you're just essentially going, hey, you spiked, yesterday. Today I'm going to look to take you back down as traders move away because there's profit taking going on. There's no volume there. Easy, amazing setup. Honestly,
Yeah,
something.
so so today it was GTLO, GLTO
DLTO, yeah,
rather,
yeah, yeah.
and let me see, pull up my Thinkorswim and show you guys.
Because my point being, like right now, like I was actually talking about earlier this morning, you're not seeing a lot of good bounce plays, or like me with my trend
Hmm.
cracks, or the things that I trade a lot throughout. Sometimes you're going to have that where certain setups aren't setting up, is my point. The patterns aren't forming. Well, what forms
Look at
almost,
the.
Monday through Friday, 365 days out of the year, you're going to have a play that spikes at least two or three or four, even in slow times throughout the
I,
week. Sometimes you'll
I'm
have,
telling you, Josh, there's hangovers every day. I mean,
yeah,
look at this. Again, I don't screenshot these, but look, NUAI, I took this one this morning. This morning, against the previous high day,
right.
318. I took it here out of the gates and 290 down to 250. I mean, you're just milking these 40, 50 cents, and it probably keeps
Right.
fading. The other
Yep.
one I took was GLTO. Yeah, GLTO. Just took, I mean, this was very illiquid and slow, and so I'm going smaller size here. But this was a big play. You guys know earlier in the week there was a big, there was a lot of gurus just in their chat room spiking that thing up on fluff. So I mean, I'm not taking it off the radar. I like to bleed these things on down. I like to bleed them on down. They're just slow, methodical. They're easy to trade, and you're not like my biggest losers come from trying to catch the front side of like QNRX. I mean, I personally need a clear level to risk off of, and really I set hard stops to protect myself from myself. So like QNRX I did hit, but again I wait for. I'm gonna size down a little smaller because this is not my hangover setup. Hangovers, it's not that's not the only thing I trade. It's not the only thing I trade. There are multiple edges I trade, but that's my A plus setup. But QNRX, I'll go small on this. Like I said, I mean, I had like whatever, it's like a $700 position. I only had like 10 shares or something on this to make like 50, $60, like I said, on the funded account. So QNRX, this is gives a clear risk level, on it, and then you can kind of risk off of that, or just my risk was more like 35. Hit it on this pop. I like to trade this a lot, Josh. Like once you have the euphoria and then you have a retracement and then a pop back up like a little bit of that move, what like the 50% of that level.
Right. Yeah.
Because you got to know you got a lot of long stock in that at that point.
Yeah. There's a few in
Uh,
there. There's a few that are crying right now, still, for sure.
Still crying right
Love it,
now.
love it, love it.
Oh,
Let's see.
SGBX trying to wake up. Dude, they're trying to squeeze some shorts out right now on
Yeah.
some of these plays. What did the GWH end up doing? Yeah, 420, the Magic 20. I go over the Magic 20 all the time, guys. That's holding up on GWH, Magic 20 there. Just this one has a lot of shorts underwater though, so I could actually see it trying to make another move because it just trapped a bunch of shorts in it. Smud to use a scanner like FinViz. Yeah, I use them all. I mean, FinViz I use. I've been using this Momo screener because it's really good and it's free. It's just like it goes over the high day, momentum tickers, halts, and then the intensity stock watch is one I've used as well. Of course, trade ideas too. But again, my strategy is not really necessarily like trading the momentums of the day. I trade so it's easy for me to find these tickers through like even Thinkorswim or Webull scanners or any like I just find what was hot, last week, yesterday, the previous day. So for me, it's not difficult at all to identify those setups
Yeah.
and find them.
Yeah, like, the longer too, I've noticed the longer you do it, I get asked that all the time. Like, I don't use any screener scanners. I mean, I guess I go to the top gainer board and you can find that anywhere, but that's all I'm doing. I don't really care about, screeners or scanners in my, that's just not how I trade. But it
Right.
just becomes my point. What I'm saying is the longer we do this, it's like we know what stocks are moving. I get asked that, how do you find these plays? I just know exactly where to be looking for, and that's just the thing that you do this for so long, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. You just, every morning you wake up, you know exactly where to look for to find the trades and what trades you're looking for. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you see my watch list over here. I mean, I know what's moving. We don't miss anything in the chat room. I keep an extensive watch list. There's probably 20 on it from just again, it's like what's been hot and what is hot. I throw on here, so I'm monitoring at all times, flipping through the percentage gainers from the last week. I want to be on top of guys. If you want that equity curve, if you want a decent equity curve, you've got to do a few things. Okay, if you're trading a different edge, that's fine, but there are some universal things you've got to do if you're struggling as a trader, and you can all make it. You can all make it. I absolutely believe that 100%. There's a few universal things that you need to do because the edge only plays itself out through good discipline. So you
right.
have to have the discipline to stick with your edge and not overtrade other tickers. You need to reflect on what are you doing on the red days. That's what used to hurt me. So if I took three trades in a row, I used to start like sizing up on C plus setups and trying to make it back and ended up dig myself deeper in a hole. So you need to know you need to be disciplined to just trade your edge, to size it appropriately, to not oversize BC quality setups, which that comes through experience. Experience will be your best teacher. You need risk management, of course, on these trades, right? Risk management is what's going to protect your edge. And then you need the consistency to do that over and over through repetition. That's ultimately going to compound it over time. Experience is you're gonna have to learn via experience. You need a mentor. You need Josh in here to be your mentor, somebody who's been doing this for 10 years. But then you're going to develop your own trader psychology over time through your own eyes, and you're going to see certain things. So I used to be like most when I first started 10 years ago, and that is I'd be chasing highs and experiencing the FOMO. But now I've developed, through experience, you develop more of like just a keen awareness of what's really going on. And so I'm able to take advantage of, essentially deer and headlight traders that got the paralysis by analysis and bleed those tickers on down. That ended up not having a strategy, holding and hoping, turning into long-term investors. Um, and just praying that the ticker curls back around when in reality it always ends in capitulation. Nearly always. I never say
No, not
always,
not
but
always, but a lot of the time.
not always, but 99.9% of the time.
A lot.
A
A lot.
lot.
Yeah, any last questions? Put them in chat right now. And yes, Mud definitely got to watch the previous runners. Go back. So I always talk about with you guys over and over and over and over and over is what? Go back over your trades. What ran today? What ran yesterday? Why did it run? Where was the high? Why was it the high? Why did it bounce there? Why did it reverse there? You got to go back through and do all that because the more you're doing that, then you get more and more used to what's going to happen in front of you days to come. So you're preparing your brain, your mind. So when you do see these charts being built, painted in front of you live, you'll be able to adapt and trade them faster versus, what's next? Well, go back and break down charts and charts and charts and charts and charts and study them. You'll usually then know what's coming next.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
All
Yeah,
right.
and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity,
Yeah,
Mr. Josh. And yeah,
always.
we're gonna grow together. It's gonna be good. And then
Yeah,
we
my
got
man. Cool, cool, cool.
GNRX. Yeah, great education. Thank you, Mr. Angela. Appreciate you. Good to see you in here as well. Yeah, I mean, we could go over multiple edges. Again, it's like I'm not folding every hand, and I'm not only waiting for pocket aces to show up. You know, it's like but that I wanted to go over the bread and butter um, for you guys, so you can start looking out for that. And that's what I'm trading day in, day out, and
Sweet.
I'm
Yeah.
fairly disciplined with it. I mean, it's I've learned some hard lessons from trying to find trades, Josh, versus letting the trades find me.
Yep. 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 All there and much more for sure. And that's why I'm getting, doing these dual stream Fridays. Of course, some traders will chat how much they love this because it's huge. I mean, learning and hearing from other traders. And like I keep saying in all these, the more you say something that I'm saying that they said, and this other trader said, next thing you know, you've got 8 traders that have essentially said the same thing just in different verbiage. Well, then that starts perking traders' ears up for sure when they start realizing like, oh, I might want to listen to Kevin Avery too because AK says that and then he says that and then she says that. That's a lot of people that say this. I might want to actually look into this, and that's why I'm doing these because there's a lot of different people in the world, a lot of different ways to trade, and you've got to figure out what
There's
works
a
best
lot
for
of
you.
different ways to trade.